Dating in 2026 isn't confusing. It's psychological warfare. You're not just talking to a girl. You're competing with her entire validation feed. Her DMs, her comments, her options. You think you're on a date. She thinks she's curating content. You show effort. She shows your messages to friends like a group project. And when you finally feel a connection, she disappears like you were never there. You tell yourself modern dating is hard. The truth is darker. If you don't understand the game in 2026, you're not dating. You're being used. Stay. Because you're about to see exactly how this war is played, and the dark Stoic walls that keep you from becoming just another exhausted man in her highlight reel. Let's be honest about your experience. You match. You text. You feel a vibe. Then it turns into slow replies, half-hearted, ha-has, endless maybe next week. You plan a date. She cancels last minute, posts a story out with friends the same night. You try again. Because you're understanding. Because you've been told to be patient, to not be controlling. Inside, you feel humiliated. You think it's just bad luck or wrong person, but you keep seeing the same pattern. You invest first, she invests never. You explain your intentions, she stays vague. You look for connection, she looks for entertainment. Modern dating has turned into performance. You're auditioning for a role in someone's life while they keep the door half open, just in case something better shows up. Psychology has a phrase for what you're trapped in, the validation economy. She doesn't need a boyfriend. She needs attention. She needs options. She needs to feel like she could have you, if she ever got bored enough. You've felt it. When she texts just enough so you don't fully walk away. When she calls you sweet, but never makes plans. When she trauma dumps on you like a therapist, then goes on a date with someone else. You're not a man in her story. You're a resource in her ecosystem. Time. Emotional support, free therapy, free validation, and you stay. Because you're scared that if you don't play this game, you'll end up alone. Here's the brutal line. Right now, you're not afraid of being alone. You're afraid of finally seeing how alone you already are in these connections. Here's what they don't tell you. Dating in 2026 is not just men versus women. It's attention versus attention. Algorithms trained everyone to think in metrics, views, likes, replies, streaks. Even relationships feel like engagement stats now. When she posts, she watches who replies fastest, who double texts, who watches every story. That's not love. That's data collection. Dark psychology calls this supply mapping. People subconsciously sort others into categories of usefulness. Emotional supply, financial supply. Boredom killer, backup option. If you don't know your category, you're probably at the bottom of her list. Then there's intermittent reinforcement. The same principle casinos use. She gives you a burst of attention. Good morning texts. Deep late-night talks. Future talk. Then suddenly goes cold. Your brain panics. Did I do something wrong? You chase harder. On a psychological level, your nervous system gets hooked on the unpredictability. You confuse anxiety with attraction. You confuse instability with chemistry. Now add modern language into this. Situationship. Talking stage. Vibes. None of this is accidental. It's strategic vagueness. If she never clearly defines what you are, she never has to feel guilty for using your energy without committing to you. The Stoics would call this living at the mercy of externals. Your peace, your self-respect, your confidence, completely dependent on someone's inconsistent attention. Men like Marcus Aurelius were ruthless about one thing: what is mine to control and what is not. Your mistake is simple. You're trying to control her interest instead of mastering your access. As long as you're available for breadcrumbing, mixed signals, and delayed replies, You are volunteering as a participant in a system that profits from your exhaustion. Dating in 2026 is war for your focus. If you lose that war, you lose yourself. So here are the 7 dark Stoic rules. Follow them or stay a resource. The first rule is, assume the frame is rigged. Stop walking into modern dating like it's built for your happiness. Assume it is designed to keep you swiping, texting, performing, chasing. This doesn't mean hate women. It means stop romanticizing systems that are openly draining you. Example: instead of treating every match like potential wife, you treat it like what it is, a stranger on a screen who has shown you nothing yet. You don't invest your heart before you've seen her behavior over time. The second rule is qualification before investment. Most men invest first, qualify later. You give time, attention, effort to a person you barely know. From now on, you flip it. You ask yourself, has she shown consistency, respect for your time, clear interest without games? If not, she doesn't get access to your best. Example: she cancels twice and never offers an alternative. Old you: it's okay, I understand. Stoic you: she just disqualified herself. You stop reaching out. No argument, just a quiet closure of door. The third rule is, no therapy for strangers. 2026 dating turned men into unpaid therapists. You listen to childhood trauma, ex-boyfriend horror stories, her anxiety, her depression. And then she says, "You're such a good listener," and goes to sleep texting someone else. From now on, you do not offer deep emotional labor to someone who hasn't earned your trust. Example: she starts trauma dumping on day 3. You stay calm. You say, "I hope you have support for that." You do not turn the conversation into a 2-hour rescue mission. You're not cold. You're boundaried. The fourth rule is, one chance to confuse you. If her words and actions don't match, you don't collect red flags like trophies. You give it one chance. You clarify once. If the pattern continues, you withdraw. Psychology calls this contingency learning. People learn what they can get away with. Example: she says she wants to see you, but never locks in plans. You say once, "Let me know when you're actually free." If she continues with vague, you stop initiating. Remember, a woman who truly respects you is scared to lose your clarity. The fifth rule is, ghost mode for peace, not punishment. You don't cut people off to make them chase. That's still you orbiting their reaction. You go silent because your nervous system is tired of being yanked around. Example: you notice you check your phone 20 times an hour waiting for her reply. You mute the chat. You put the phone in another room. You go to the gym or work on your craft. Now your silence is not manipulation. It's recovery. The sixth rule is, value equals life without them. Ask yourself, if she vanished tomorrow, what would your life look like? If the honest answer is empty, you are not high value. You are dependent. Women in 2026 can feel the difference between a man with a life and a man who wants her to be his life. Example: you fill your schedule with training, skills, projects, brotherhood, not as a stunt, but as a real foundation. Now when she plays games, your default thought isn't, "How do I fix this?" It's, "I have better things to do." The seventh rule is cold acceptance. This is pure Stoicism. You accept that some women are addicted to the game. They don't want peace. They want stimulation. You don't argue with that reality. You don't try to heal it. You don't write essays about modern women. You simply refuse to participate. Example: she admits she likes drama. She brags about guys in her DMs. She talks about how boring stable men are. You believe her. You exit. No speech, no revenge. Just absence. That's not bitterness. That's self-respect. Here's what all of this is really about. Dating in 2026 is psychological warfare because it attacks your sense of self. Every ghosting, every flaky plan, every mixed signal starts to whisper in your head, "You're not enough. Try harder. Be more." Stoic philosophy cuts through that noise. You are not defined by who chooses you in a broken system. You are defined by what you choose when you finally see the system clearly. The men who win in 2026 are not the ones with the best lines, the prettiest pictures, or the most rage. They are the men who can look at the chaos and say, "I'm not playing this game. I'll build my life, and I'll only let in what doesn't threaten my peace." That's the dark shift. You stop seeing yourself as a contestant, begging to be picked. You start seeing yourself as the man whose presence is a privilege, not a consolation prize. Some women will call you cold. Some will say you're emotionally unavailable. What they really mean is, you can no longer be farmed for free attention. And one day, when you're deep in your purpose, surrounded by real friends, sleeping peacefully, you'll realize you're not done with dating. You're just done letting the validation economy feed on your loneliness. That's not quitting. That's winning on your own terms. So the next time you feel that old panic, the urge to chase, to over-explain, to prove your worth, remember this: you're not losing a woman. You're losing a role in a game that was never built for you. If this hit harder than any dating advice you've heard lately, you already know what to do. Join the Stoic Cartel. Come back to the fire tomorrow. We'll keep turning every rejection into fuel for the kind of man you're becoming.